So I'm here with my friend from Iceland, and it's a pleasure to have him here. He's visiting Ireland, and he's been around. I think he's doing a little bit of genealogical work, trying to trace his roots. So I hope that goes well in Donegal. His name's Ævar. Ævar, I don't know how to say your surname. I apologize, but if you could help me.
Yeah, no problem. My surname is Ágústsson.
And I remember you had a story about that surname.
Yeah, it's my father's first name. That's just how it goes. All of our surnames.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And just coffee for you?
Beer's actually my friend's there.
Oh.
Thank you.
And the coffee for me.
Why coffee? It's Friday.
I know, I'm actually drinking after. I'm trying to pace myself.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that.
I don't know about that, but I'm supposed to be the Irishman here, and I'm not drinking as much as you.
Yeah.
So you've already kind of embarrassed me, but anyway.
No, but yeah, like every person in Iceland's surname is their father's first name. So my father's name is Ágúst, so my name is Ágústsson, because I'm the son of August. And my sisters, they are Ágústsdóttir, the daughter of August.
And didn't you have like part of your name meant soldier of the sea?
No, that's my brother's name.
Ah.
My brother's
how'd you say
name
that?
is Sævar, which means soldier of the sea. My name is Ævar, which means soldier.
Ah.
And then my middle name is Már, which means seagull, like the bird.
Seagull soldier.
Yeah, so my full name is Soldier Seagull, son of August. Which is a weird name.
I'm a bit jealous and embarrassed for us here. We don't have cool names that translate like that.
It's cool in the sense that during the European Cup, we broke a world record. We had the most players on the field at one time that had the last three letters being the same. Everybody was Son.
Son. Well, I can join the club.
Before that, it was Denmark. They had 10 guys with the last three letters being S-E-N, Sen. Like Eriksson.
Yeah, and isn't your language like Old Norse?
It's very close.
So you can understand the Norwegian old books from Norway?
I mean, I haven't read them, and it has changed a lot the way that we write. But like a couple of years ago, I saw a video of a couple of guys speaking Old Norse.
Yeah.
And it was very similar to Icelandic. And I could pick up probably quite more words than Danish and Norwegian people can. It's kind of weird. But you never get the sense when you're younger. You're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you're older, you like, especially me, like working as a tour guide, I started to like look up these things again. And, like, these are very interesting things. Your language is amazing. I love my language.
I do like the even looking at the language, like the A and the E that's in your name.
Yeah,
that
comes from Ireland.
Oh yeah.
Irish monks took A and E, put them together to save space when they were rewriting scripture.
Ah, right, okay. They were running out of paper, so they needed to save room for more words.
That's how my name came to be. But with Norway and Denmark, they don't sound the same. I think in Norway it sounds like and in Denmark it sounds like but we pronounce it I. But yeah, that's of course my favorite letter.
Yeah, is it the first one in the alphabet?
No, it's second to the last.
All right, okay.
We have the special letters in the back.
Like the O with the umlaut, but you wouldn't call them umlauts, would
it's
you?
A little bit further, but we have like O with umlaut. That's the two dots above, That's the last one. And then the third one is the thought. It sounds like TH.
Oh yes.
The P with the bolts in the middle.
Yes. Okay.
So we end with them. Thought neither.
And you see, being here now and looking at your roots. Do you know your roots? Have you checked the records, the census? Because I remember you were saying the census in Iceland, the Book of the Icelanders, is pretty much the best kept record of any peoples.
Yeah, but since then, like, I've done more research a little bit. This is not something that is consuming my life, but
not yet.
I do know that in some cases they are wrong. So I'm not quite sure if what I'm saying on the tour is absolutely true.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people are put down with the wrong father.
Yeah.
There's maybe cheating going on or something.
Okay.
There's, and I've been checking this website, and I found a lot of people in my history where it says like this guy is probably the son of this guy.
Yes.
We're not quite sure.
Right.
And but if everything adds up, I have Irish royalty in my family. It didn't really work out for them, but it's kind of cool. It's a really cool outfit.
So you trace your roots back to the Celts, who.
I don't know the Celt history at all. But
right.
no, we had a man from Norway called Olaf the White who came to Iceland, and he fought here and was given the title King of Dublin.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he was killed.
Okay.
And his family fled to Iceland and became some of the first settlers in Iceland. Not to...
That's right. He would have had a clan, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He would have belonged to a clan.
Yeah.
So there would have been like a lot of a tribal war there where it would be unsafe for him.
Oh, yeah.
He was almost banished. He would have had to have left.
That was kind of it. Like he was murdered, and his son tried to take over Scotland, but that didn't work out. So his wife and he took their son, and they fled to Iceland.
Right. Okay.
So that's my Irish roots. But they come from Norway originally. They just stopped by here.
There's actually speaking to a friend at work, and she was speaking about the red gene. So I have it in my family because my uncle's son is a redhead, and my uncle isn't a redhead, and his wife wasn't a redhead, but my cousin is fully red, and even in my own beard I can see a little bit of red if the light hits it the right way. So I was speaking to a friend at work, and she said something that I've not heard yet, but I thought it was interesting. She said that the red gene actually comes from Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she said it originates there because I remember when I was in Africa and Ethiopia doing a little bit of charity work, and there was guys there with they were Ethiopian guys, black guys, but with red beards.
I think I've seen some YouTube videos.
Yeah. It's not the same red as like European red, the way that we would conceive of red usually, but it is literally red. Yeah. The color, yeah.
Kind of makes me want to do that. What's it called? 24andMe, that American DNA test you can do.
Oh yes.
Kind of makes me want to do that.
Thanks a lot for actually giving me the name of one, because I'm looking to do one myself.
I think that's like the famous one, 24andMe or 22andMe or something.
22andMe, right. There's a company here called Rantdom Health, and they do something similar, but not to find out where you're from. They do it to find out what you're likely to suffer from in the future.
Oh, I think you can do that back home as well.
Yeah. It's like if you're a hypochondriac and you want to know how you're going to die, then you'd just pay for this kit, and they'll give you your full report to say, well, you're probably going to get cancer, or dementia, or
Not
go
sure
blind.
if I want that.
Yeah. Maybe if they could tell me when, then I'll be like, I can rock out, and then I know I've got to squeeze in all of my good times.
It'd be weird one day you be able to do a DNA test, and it's basically called like, when will you die?
Yeah.
June 23rd, 2035.
And I was going to say that I think we're both fans of movies, and you may know a lot of cult movies. Like I know a few cult movies, like The Warriors or The Wanderers. They came out around the same times.
The bad thing about me is that I love a lot of stuff, but I probably have the worst memory of anybody that I know. I used to live with a good friend of mine. He's a movie maker, and we've done a couple of movies together. And we would watch movies all the time. And then like 2 days later, he would be like, "Oh, remember that scene?" And I'd be like, "Not really." Like,
okay.
I'm awful when it comes to remembering movies. I'm terrible at it.
All you need to do is like watch compilations on YouTube of the greatest ever movie whatevers.
Yeah.
Like greatest ever movie lines or greatest Arnold quotes. Like I'd watch that. I actually watched Commando recently. The old Schwarzenegger movie came out like I think it was the 80s.
Yeah, I remember the movie.
And some of the lines I knew them. I didn't know where they were from because people just said them.
Yeah.
And didn't get the reference fully.
It became a thing.
Like you push some guy off a ledge, some bad guy, dropped him off a cliff, and then he goes back to the car where he had a woman that he just borrowed her car, and she was the getaway driver for him. She goes to him, what happened to that guy? I let him go. Like literally, I let him go. And then there was a bit where he gets on a plane the whole thing is about a kidnap of his daughter or something, so he's trying to find his daughter from the bad guys, and he's on the plane and some guy just disses him. So when the air hostess isn't looking, he gets him in a headlock and then like breaks his neck and puts a pillow over his face so he looks like he's sleeping. and then he turns to the air hostess and he's like, please don't disturb my friends. He's very tired. What is it? He's dead tired. Yeah, he's dead tired. Oh, amazing.
That's what I kind of miss about some movies. It's like,
yeah.
I feel like a lot of movies are becoming more and more like serious, and then you have the joke movies being like ridiculously comedic.
Yeah, like James Franco in The Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Room?
Yeah.
So the parody.
Yeah. But I thought watching them back to back was a really good thing. Like it was really cool. But I know Tommy Wiseau, he came to Iceland a couple of years ago.
Oh no!
They did a screening of The Room in this independent theater in Reykjavik.
Wow.
But sadly, I actually didn't know. I knew the references, but I didn't know the movie back then. So
okay, well I guess that kind of would have given you some feel for the fire to go home and spend an hour and a half of your life on the worst movie probably most commonly known that you could talk to other people about, because I've seen a few on Red Letter Media. Red Letter Media is like this company who review bad movies, and they like every week they have like a trilogy or something of terrible, like you wouldn't even call them B movies. Like there's something else. I feel like I would have a pretty good chance of directing with these, so they make you feel good if you're actually going to try and do anything creative with videography and stuff like that.
So they like really break it down.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, like, they really break it down, but they take out all the golden bits. And so when you watch it, you're just waiting for the golden bit, and you're like, oh, this isn't as funny as I thought it was going to be, because they've already spoke about all the funny bits. So like you end up thinking, I'm just going to watch Red Letter Media reviews of these movies and not the movies, because they just talk about the best bits. And then I was also going to say, your brother and yourself, I remember your story about going to festivals in Iceland, and you have like a festival for all sorts of stuff, like ice cream festival.
Yeah, well, that festival is actually called Blooming Days. It's a flower festival. But nobody likes flowers, so they added ice cream, and now it's very popular. And they make like weird flavored ice cream. Like I heard a few years ago, they made the breast milk ice cream. And
made with real breast milk.
And ice cream in Iceland is called ís, and they called it boobies.
It makes sense.
Really good play on words.
Yeah, I like the pun.
And then
10 out of 10 for the pun.
Made like shark flavored ice cream. So fermented shark is like an Icelandic thing. And then they made the
say your food is
cream.
fucking awful. You know, I hate to say it, but it's true.
But you know, I don't know how to say this, but I agree, but I do not agree. Our old-timey food, like what people used to eat, awful food. Fermented shark, sour ram testicles, and shit like that.
Doesn't sound very appetizing.
No. But I mean, we have amazing fish. Our lamb is just insanely good. We have a lot of really, really good food, but the thing is, when you come in as a tourist, we're gonna tell you to eat what our ancestors ate. The traditional food.
Is it the Ufisk? Is that one of them?
Ufisk. We have dry fish, which is or salted fish, like salted dry fish.
It's actually fermented dead fish. This kind of thing I'm speaking about. It's so it's so terrible. I think there's a YouTube channel called.
Are you talking about that canned fish?
No, it wouldn't be canned. There's a YouTube channel called. It's like.
You're talking about Skata, probably.
Maybe.
I don't know what it's called. We eat it around Christmas, and it's just the grossest thing.
You may as well like.
World.
I would rather try and test out the contents of my vomit warmed up again with some salt and pepper than that fish dish because I've seen videos of people trying to eat it on YouTube. It's kind of like the people that eat chilies on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this chili is like GM modified, the Scoville level is off the charts, and watch this person eat it and then have to drink a gallon of milk and go like literally change color with the heat.
I thought you were talking about surströmming, which is a Swedish delicacy.
Oh.
And it's a can of like this small fish, and whenever you open the can, you die. Like the smell is awful. There are so many videos.
And I think it was Good Morning. There's like a Good Morning America, but it's not Bill Maher. Or Bill Maher, or however you say that morning TV host name.
Yeah.
They're two comedians, Rhett and Link. Rhett and Link is the name of the two comedians.
Good Mythical Morning.
That's the one. That's the one.
That show. I like that show.
It's a great show. It's actually something I just stumbled upon when I was in Bristol.
Yeah.
Went to Bristol and ended up looking for basically like people who knew about shisha, you know, the shisha tobacco.
Yeah.
It's like Middle Eastern smoking.
Yeah.
Without the paper and the filter, you just have like a bong.
I tried to do it in Denmark 3 weeks ago, but we stumbled upon the wrong bar. It was a very shady bar, and the guy kicked us out when we were not members of the bar.
All right, that sounds like it belonged to like the Middle Eastern mafia or something.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, it was like a good money laundering outfit.
Yeah, it looked like that. Like we came in, it was all empty. There was just like 3 cubicles.
Yeah.
And they were just all like laying in each cubicle, looking at us very.
Yeah,
really.
they probably had like a shitload of hash on them or something.
And the thing is, like, I was in a bad place. Like, I was in the ghetto in Denmark.
Oh, all right, okay.
My friend lives there. He was like, "It's fine, man. It's fine."
Is it Christiansborg?
No. Christiania. That's in Copenhagen.
Okay.
I was in Aarhus.
Okay.
And I don't remember the name of the area, but it's like the kind of town where wherever you hear bad news from that town, it comes from that
place. Oh, it's like not those bloody Aarhus neighborhood. Scallywags again.
And the guy was like telling me about his, growing up in there, in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm a big guy. I was scared by the things that he was describing, like from the past.
Yeah.
He was like showing me his apartment building, and he was like, there were like 3 rapists that lived on that floor.
Wow.
And they were like raping children in the forests. And I was like, oh my god.
That's really messed up, especially for an Icelander, because like the crime in your country, I felt as if like I dropped a bottle. And I was like enemy number 1. I've just polluted the streets.
You came in a really bad year as well. We had like a record amount of murders. 4.
Right. Yeah, I remember your task force. Yeah, you have like a SWAT team that was recently set up called the Viking Squad.
Yeah.
Literally translates as Viking Squad.
Yeah. They've had in Iceland's history, we have had 1 police shooting.
Yeah, I'd expect that.
And the difference between Iceland and, for example, in the United States, where many police headquarters, they were like defender police officers.
Yeah.
Our police chief, he went on television the day after, he was like, "We're really sorry. This was the last resort we had. Like, we feel terrible about what happened."
Yeah.
That's the only time.
The police have now gone on a 1 week break.
Like,
to contemplate and reflect.
The victim.
And the bullet.
Yeah, the bullet. No, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, a lot of people that are on my tour, they ask me about like gun violence and
Yeah.
stuff like that, because I have a lot of Americans on the bus.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, like, your problem is not the amount of guns you have. Your problem is how easy it is to get them. Like in Iceland and Switzerland, I think it is, we have some of the most guns in the world per capita.
Didn't know that. That's fascinating.
No gun violence.
I would never have guessed Iceland would have had a high level of guns per capita, but I guess that they're kind of like hunting rifles.
Yeah, hunting and sportsmanship. Like, when you're shooting like clay doves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Targets. And the only pistol, for example, you can have is for target shooting.
Right, okay.
But like, you can't own an assault rifle. Like,
like
no
an
matter-
AR-15.
Yeah, like, I love it when Americans are like, but it's my right to bear arms. I'm like, do you need an AR-15?
Like, think about the context in which that was written.
Yeah.
Like, it was very different from contemporary society.
It's not made for defense. It's made for offense. Like, it's made to kill.
Yeah. I think the reason that they're so about having gun ownership and being able to the right to bear arms is because they genuinely felt threatened that the government was going to take control of the citizenry. I think at a certain point in their history, maybe it was when Britain had them as a colony, they felt as if the colonial government were going to restrict their rights and like repress them, so they needed the weapons. So maybe it was a genuine fear at the time, but I think it's still in their psyche. They still have this fear that the state's going to turn into like a communist state, and I don't think they really know what the meaning of the word communist is. Like they would maybe call some Democrats communists, but like take it to a UK context, a Democrat would be our version of a conservative, an American Democrat, because they're so neoliberal. So it's all about perspective and
definitely is.
And I was also going to say I am traveling to Denmark next week. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that place where you just said, so see what's happening. I'm only joking. I'm gonna go to Copenhagen.
But I have to tell you about that place. I went to a market. It's called the Bazaar West. It's like a Middle Eastern market.
Right. Okay.
And I had the best kebab I've had in my life. It was insane. It was so good.
Like, what kind of kebab were you talking about here? Lamb?
Yeah, it was lamb shawarma. It was really, really, really good.
All right, okay. And then, did you have any of the...
Turkish bread. That was really good as well.
I was going to say Turkish bread. And because I grew up in London, we had a kebab shop around the corner. And they were all Turkish guys in the kebab shop.
Yeah.
And that used to be my version of a curry, because I don't know, you wouldn't get this, but Indian food for us is kind of new. Like before, you would have said I'm getting a Chinese or something for the weekend. I thought I'm going to treat myself on a Friday. I'm going to get a Chinese, or I'm going to get a kebab. And then it was only probably in the past 10, 15 years, Indian food's really blown up. So like, if you're gonna be normal now, you'd be like, I'm gonna get a curry from the takeaway because I really like the chicken tikka masala or whatever, and that's actually from Glasgow, chicken tikka.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I just had a sandwich, chicken tikka sandwich.
Yeah, that's right. You turn it into a sandwich.
With London, like I do associate curry a lot with London because I hear a lot of people talk about curry in London. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
And like I would think like number one when somebody says curry, I go India.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably go London.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty cool.
There are a lot of Indians in London, right?
Yeah. I think London has got so many immigrant communities that you could easily, like, if I wanted to find an Irish ghetto, which is called Kilburn, I know where it is. I can go there and I could just spend my life in Kilburn, in this ghetto, not really have to try and associate with many other people from like elsewhere. And it's kind of like, it's easy to do that, I guess, when your language isn't English, your first language isn't English.
Yeah.
I think I have to explain for the listeners why it's so noisy here. So we're on a balcony next to City Hall in Belfast, so if there's any buses and the party cycle bar thing that gets in our way, I'm blaming them if it gets over us speaking. So disclaimer alert. And I was going to say also, you and your brother, did you go to any of those festivals that you mentioned? So there's the ice cream one.
Yeah, my brother went to that one, and I have never made it. Like, it always seems to land on a weekend that I'm working. But I remember, like, my brother went to the festival a few years ago, and I had the funniest phone call that I've ever had from him. And I say this on my tour. He called me up, and he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I said, like, "Not much, what's up?" He said, "I tried breast milk ice cream," and then he hung up the phone.
Oh,
like the whole conversation. He like told me he tried breast milk ice cream. But yeah, like we have a lobster festival in the east of Iceland, in like this lobster village called Höfn. Amazing, just lobster flowing everywhere for the whole weekend.
Like flowing dead. Like rivers of dead lobsters.
A lot of crates of dead lobster.
All right, okay. Did you ever go to a restaurant and they ask you to pick the lobster when it's alive in a box? You know,
I did once. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? I did that when I was in Dominican, and they just asked me to pick one. There was so many in the bloody thing, I couldn't really see the one I was picking. I was just like, just one in that area of the box. And then like half an hour later it's on your plate and he's cooked.
It's weird. I did it in Red Lobster. I was visiting my sister in America.
Yeah.
And it was, I love lobster.
Yeah.
It's a terrible restaurant. Like the food was not good. But the lobster back home is really good. It was a really funny thing that happened last year. My brother works for the Icelandair Cargo and they ship out products. And one day he called my mom up and he was like, "Hey mom, do you like lobster?" My mom was like, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, "All right, I got a crate full of lobsters that I'm going to take home today." Because a crate broke and they can't ship out broken crates.
Oh, right.
And then he called like 5 minutes later. He was like, "So there's 6 lobsters and they're all alive." So he brought back home like 6 lobsters alive. Just like kept them in the sink, and my mom was like panicking what to do with them.
Whoa, you have a massive sink. 6 lobsters, full size.
Well, they were like around the sink. Not all in the sink.
Yeah. I was gonna say we have something here called a Belfast sink.
Yeah.
And a Belfast sink is like this. It's like almost like a bucket. It may as well just be like a square or a rectangular bucket.
Yeah.
And usually, this is very pedantic for discussion here, talking about sinks, but the shape of the sink at the bottom is actually flat, so it's like a box.
Okay.
Like imagine somebody opened a cardboard box, but instead of it being cardboard, it was made out of like ceramic.
Yeah.
And it was quite deep. That is a Belfast sink. So like if you had one of those, you could probably stack it up with lobsters.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be an issue whatsoever.
But yeah, we had a lobster fest that night. It was really good. Really nice.
The festivals here that I'd like to go to, we have some quirky festivals, maybe not as good as the Blooming Festival that you were talking about, which is probably another pun. I think there is a festival for cheese rolling.
Oh yeah, I've seen videos of that.
Yeah, in the West.
Like,
in, like Mayo, I think it is.
Sounds
ironic. Mayo,
looks terrifying.
Mayonnaise and cheese.
Yeah.
So County Mayo, I think what they do is every summer they head to a meadow and they go to the biggest hill.
Yeah.
I think it may be
the steepest hill.
Yeah, sorry, the steepest hill. And they just roll down like cheddar.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's round. I don't know. I think you could throw it. I'm not too sure. It's like I know in Finland they have like a baseball game where instead of the ball being thrown at the batsman, it's thrown in the air, and so he has time to adjust and meet it, and then he hits it like strategically in the arena or the stadium, and it's like it's quite a hard game. It's almost like a bit. It's more cerebral than it is physical, because as soon as you change the angle of a ball from being thrown at you to your torso to thrown in the air, when it's thrown in the air, you have a choice of like how you stand, the way you turn, how you hit. So like it's I guess like thinking about it in a statistical sense, there's more possibilities of where that ball could go.
Definitely.
So it's harder to defend or whatever. So,
but yeah, I've seen the videos of that cheese rolling. I think it's round, the cheese.
all right.
The hill is bumpy.
Okay.
And like, it's a hilarious video. Like people are like face planting while they're like running full speed.
Oh yes.
Like it's brutal.
That actually reminds me of like another really culture. Like we have culture means like a country, like like a hillbilly festival we have. It's like the Donkey Derby. I do not want to know where this thing is, but it's somewhere in the back house of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they have it, the best donkeys in the land to meet up and have their owners go around like somebody's field on them, trying to stay on. And this is all commentated.
Oh, it's like donkey rodeo, kind of, like staying on the back of it.
No, they wouldn't be bucking. They're actually trying to race.
All right.
But the people are just so like useless that they can't even stay on their own donkeys. So they're trying to stay on in the race.
Yeah.
Hopefully no one's taking it serious, but there's probably like that one or two.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That they are taking it serious. They've gone to win. You know, they've gone to show out.
We have like a hillbilly festival at home as well. It's like a family festival. It's just music all weekend. But then like the highlight of the festival is where like farmers bring their tractors.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Yeah.
The pronunciation's kind of... I get it.
And they do like off-road competition in the tractors.
Oh, right.
Like you have these families just like, and they're just going into mud and like these mud puddles. Like it's really wild.
That actually reminds me of the muddiest experience I've ever had, which was I was actually speaking to a friend about this idea of if everything goes to pot and the career doesn't work out, we could come up with this new event, you know, like Tough Mudder. Tough Mudder is an event where basically you pay a lot of money to go around an assault course full with like mud everywhere and obstacles. And you do this for like half a day or a day. And this could be like a 10-mile course or a 5-mile course. You pay more money to do more mileage, but it's just more punishment. So I did this course and I was there from like 10 a.m. until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. There was about 10 or 15 obstacles. At the end, it consisted of getting electrocuted.
Oh shit.
I opted out of that. My mates didn't. But there was an ice bath involved. You know, like a freight container, like your brother would be used to containers at maybe the airport. They had this freight container where they opened up the top and they just put it full of ice cold water with ice, bags of ice. There was a lorry like with a truck and they were heaping the ice into the water to keep it ice cold. Shit. And there was 2 chutes and you had to go in the chutes straight down into the ice and then try not to get ice blasted and like paralyzed by the cold and then hop out and then you're onto the next obstacle where like there was like, you know, like Tony Hawk's, you have the half pipe in skating. Well, this was like half of a half pipe. So it was a really steep thing. You have to run up and then you get to the top and you put your hands on, you like climb over like a monkey and then you wait for the person behind you to help them. It's a very weird concept. I enjoyed it. Somebody asked me, would I pay to do that again? No, never, never. It's like paying for somebody to like tell you, okay, put on this body armor and let me take a rifle or a pistol and shoot you just to test it. It's just like you just hope the body armor just stays up. I feel like it's a bit like that.
I think I'm out of the question. I'm not sure if I could do 10 miles just flat, like on the ground, like normal 10 miles. So I think I would do.
Trust me. If you went, you'd find that there's a lot of breaks in between obstacles because people have to wait to get onto the apparatus. So it's like Full Metal Jacket. You know, you got to wait and let somebody go climb this wall thing, and because they're using the rope, you have to wait until they're finished. So you get like breathers. So
it's not like full pace.
No, it's not full pace. You actually have time to realize how ridiculous this experience is. or how outrageous it is. But at the end, they give you like a protein bar, a pat on the back, and a water beaker. Yeah. So like, it's called Tough Mudder. But me and my friend were thinking about doing a Tough Motherfucker. Like, so it's going to be harder than Tough Mudder.
Oh, really?
And what we'll do is just like buy a field somewhere, put in ridiculously hard obstacles and holes that people have to like climb out of.
So you want to make it yourself?
We're going to make it ourselves. Just get like a digger, like a tractor, like we were saying, and just drill a load of holes in the field.
Yeah. And
then like put some ticker tape around, maybe a few luminous cones to do it at nighttime, like charge people extra to do it at nighttime.
Yeah.
And they can wear luminous trainers, runners, and the prize at the end will be like maybe, if they're lucky, a packet of 10p sweets or something really frivolous.
Yeah.
And we'll charge them like 100 quid to do this. And people will probably pay because they can claim they're doing it for charity, and people will like donate to that. So that could be plan B if the career doesn't work out. But that's half an hour. So this has been the Rantdom podcast. It has been quite random. I have been ranting about random stuff, and I was going to say, Ævar, the last thing that I do on these podcasts is do a desert island discs with each guest. So
what is that?
Desert Island Discs. Oh, you seem to be a bit worried. Don't worry about it. It's just you picking 3 songs that you would bring to a desert island. If you were stranded on a desert island, you only had 3 songs on your MP3 player, on your iPod.
All right, since I came to Ireland for a Glenn Hansard concert.
All right, okay.
One of my favorite songs with him is called Say It To Me Now. I take that one.
Okay.
And
I'll check it out.
I'd have to pick something with Sigur Rós, my favorite band.
I like Sigur Rós.
So I'd probably go with maybe Flugufrelsarinn. Flugufrelsarinn.
I'm going to have to get the spelling of that for you after.
Check that out.
Me. All right.
And then I'd probably do
final track.
Father and Son, Cat Stevens.
Father and Son, Cat Stevens.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Right, I will find them online, and they will be the outro music for this meetup. So I'm going to go onto SoundCloud, and they will probably be remixed because I won't be able to get the originals because of copyright issues.
Yeah.
But I'll find them. And thanks again, Ævar.
No problem, man.
It's been a pleasure.
You have been listening to the Rantdom podcast. The rant's over now. Thanks, listeners.
When you walk into a small room, it's almost like you've got to light a fire. You've got a bit of flint and you've got some kindling. There's a lot more kind of graft involved, which I really enjoy. There's definitely a lot to be said for the challenge of a small space and having to build it all up.
Scratching out the surface now, and I'm trying hard to work it out. And so much has gone misunderstood, and this mystery only leads to doubt. And I'm looking for a sign. This a dark, uneasy time. And if you have something to say, you better say it now. 'Cause this is what you've waited for, your chance to even up the score. And as these shadows fall, 'cause I'm picking up a message, Lord, and I'm closer than I've ever been before. So if you have something to say, say it to me now. Well, I didn't understand now when you reached down to take my hand. And if you have something to say, you better say it now, 'cause this is what you've waited for. Your chance to even up the score. And as these shadows fall on me now, I'll win somehow, yeah. 'Cause I'm clearing out this wreckage, Lord, and there's more than you've ever seen before. So if you have something to say, say it to me now. Just say it to me now, now. Oh, 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 no.
Slowly
It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. But take your time, think a lot, but think of everything you've got. For you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? 'Cause when I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl and settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. For all the times that I've cried, keeping all the things I knew inside is hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, I'd agree, but it's them they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. Thank you.